Yo, it says welcome back to another Battlefield video. New character models for Battlefield 6 just surfaced for all 6 sub-factions. From where? From a rather expected place, a Chinese BFLabs league test. I have no clue how the Chinese players are playing and have access to brand new BFLabs builds at all times, but we're not gonna question those. On top of the new character models, the customization for the soldiers was also leaked and a little bit revealed, and it looks pretty impressive. Last week we saw the new character models for one of the factions, but today I'm gonna show you all of the factions. So right now on the screen you can see all the factions and the new updated character models. I want to give you a heads up that I have edited the image a little bit by adding oil paint to it in Photoshop so EA doesn't strike me and just harass my channel because I'm uploading content from BFLabs. A piece of info text was also added to these models and it says rough animations break the legs a little and the final form has the wrong camouflage patterns. Simplified eyelash shaders are also broken on some characters so the faces may look a little bit weird in places. I think this is to be expected since these are not the final product of the character models. But let's start from top left to bottom right. We have the United Albion faction, then we have the Espada faction, Coyote Squad, Fireteam Yaga, the Desert Locust and Kahina unit. If I had to pick my favorite ones from all these factions, it would be the Espada faction, because they really remind me from the US Marines of Battlefield 4 with their design, this black clothing they're wearing, the face masks, the type of a desert camo body armor, everything looks to me like the Battlefield 4 US faction. Then my second favorite would be Fireteam Yaga, because it looks to me like the Russian faction of Battlefield 4, specifically the soldier in the middle who has his arm crossed. Looks to me like the Battlefield 4 support from the Russian side. Overall, very cool. And then my third favorite would be Kahina unit, which just looks very interesting. And if I had to put them somewhere, this looks to me like some type of a Chinese faction perhaps. They look very cool with this latex gloves they have. Perhaps that faction might be something for the Battle Royale. I'm not sure how they would fit in the multiplayer with these fluorescent gloves and stuff, but this is all placeholder, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some version of them in the multiplayer. How do you feel about these new character soldiers, and now we know all the 6 factions that are available in BFLabs as of right now? Let me know down in the comment section, what is your favorite faction from these? So far, I'm very satisfied in the direction the new character models are heading in current BFLabs. What got my attention is the higher detail in the uniforms, more realistic tactical gear, and fresh faction designs that feel like a push toward that gritty modern combat style. They've added and improved the armor padding, helmet designs are sharper, almost like Battlefield 4 vibes in the Esquadra factions case, but leveled up, and some models even look like they're leaning into specialized squad roles, which could be hinting at classes or factions being more visually distinct at the battlefield, which is pretty cool. You might wonder, why is this such a big deal? Because it lines up with what we have been hearing, that Battlefield 6 might be focusing more on soldier identity and visual customization. And the fact that this surfaced in BFLabs, especially in tests outside of the Western servers, adds weight to that decision. Personally, I think this is a smart move. The community has been asking for more faction clarity and more realistic soldiers design since basically BFLabs started. And I think this was a very easy way of DICE gaining plus reputation points, but just giving good customization, which is very reminiscent of all the Battlefield games. Now, of course, guys, there is a risk that EA is gonna come here, shit on DICE, and just immediately add microtransaction, Nicki Minaj skins from Call of Duty. I humbly think that this is not gonna be the case because Battlefield 6 is really their last chance with the Battlefield franchise. If it does happen, it's gonna happen in some different way than what is happening in Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna be Ninja Turtles in Strike at Karkand with Battlefield 6. But surely there will be some type of skins which will be available microtransactions that EA is planning to put in Battlefield 6. And the only thing you and me can hope for is that it's not gonna completely kill the work DICE is doing here now with these brand new character models. Now let's check the customization for these new character models. But before we do that, if you guys have been enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate if you would leave a like and a comment for the algo. If you're new here and you like my content and you like me as a creator, then please consider subscribing for future content as well. I cover Battlefield 6 extensively and play basically every Battlefield game that is available to me and a little bit of Star Wars Battlefield 2. And thank you so much for your consideration, I really appreciate it. So the only thing I could find that you can change with these new character models is the patches they're wearing. So here are those on the screen right now, and when I saw them the first time, they immediately reminded me of the Battlefield 5 patches you can wear as your character emblem. Here's mine from Battlefield 5, I was playing the alpha of Battlefield 5, and I have the alpha patch, so it looks very similar in design with the patch that the soldiers wearing here that the Chinese playtesters select for them. If you pay attention to the right side of the screen, you can see that he can actually scroll down, so there is probably even more emblems available. Maybe they're different than the ones we are seeing on the screen right now, because they all seem to just be copy of one another. I would really like if these patches are tied to achievements. For example, destroy 10,000 tanks, reach max rank, and then you can wear those emblems on your chest, maybe on your shoulder. I'm not sure if you can change the position of the patch. Like I said, perhaps they can go on the soldier. Maybe you can put them on your face, on your forehead. I don't know. But I think the options here would be very, very appreciated. Something I liked from Battlefield 5, since we have mentioned the patch from Battlefield 5, I did like how you can change a lot of things about your soldier in Battlefield 5. You can change your model, you can change your gloves, you can change your legs, you can change the type of trench coat you're wearing, even your voice, and I think this was pretty cool. It is unfortunate that in Battlefield 2042, because we had the specialists, we couldn't really change those things about them because those were already, pre-rendered cringe characters that were kind of set in stone. But here, since we seem to go back to the random grunts on the battlefield, I would really like to make my own grunt that looks kind of unique and doesn't look like everybody else with the patches and everything else that's going to be available to us. I saved the best for last, guys. Here's the stats page of your soldier in BFLabs. So you have your name and then you have your rank, your military rank. It says there Lance Corporal 5, which is very cool. Perhaps the military ranks are finally returning in Battlefield. That would be really cool. Then you have your score, you have your kills, you have your kill death ratio, then you have harm. I'm not sure what this harm thing is. And then if you check the customization on the bottom left, you can edit your player card, you have dog tags, you have your badge, and you have a bunch of other things, probably a player card that's going to return from Battlefield 2042. I did like those player cards, so hopefully they're going to return only in fashion of Battlefield 6. And then you have some type of a radar chart pie of your game style, and I'm guessing those are the icons of the classes, what you're playing the most, and then you have your career best, what you're doing, and then you also have a type of bars of what you're playing. You have conquest, you have domination, and whatnot. And then you have an option to make your profile public or private, and I think this is all very, very cool. How do you feel about this stats page currently in BFLabs? Do you like it, or would you like it to look a little bit more different? And with that being said, guys, these are like the most interesting leaks from the China playtest. Like I said earlier, I have no idea how the Chinese players are constantly playing BFLabs. No clue how it's happening. Perhaps they just have better connections than we do. I don't know. With that being said, I do hope that we get a playtest on the Western servers very soon, because I want to see if there's any difference between our build and their build. And with that being said, guys, if you enjoyed watching this video, then please consider leaving a like and a comment for the algo. If you are new here, then please consider subscribing as well if you want to keep in touch with everything related to Battlefield 6 and just enjoy some good old Battlefield gameplay. Take it easy, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.